numbers up. I had to get my numbers up. Now I got it like they gave it to me. But I took it, they ain't give it to me. She really do it to me. God do it for me. Yeah, it really fit. It's a shoe-in for me. I started hooping for the Nike check. Yeah, I play tennis for the Rolex.
This is the Energica SA 9 Plus, which is basically an electric motorcycle, full-fledged, and my second electric motorcycle on the XBHP Power Tour after the Harley Davidson Live Wire, which I rode in Sydney. This one is a little bit more powerful than the Harley. This is 110 bhp and that was 100 horsepower. This is around 260 kilograms and it has a battery of 21.5 kilowatt hour, which is quite good. And I think the most powerful in an electric motorcycle like this, if I'm not wrong. This is made completely hand-built in Italy, in Modena, and they chose the right place, you know, because that is where all the iconic brands have taken birth as far as Italian brands are concerned. For me, I think I have really enjoyed this motorcycle. I mean, there is nothing bad about an electric bike, especially which is so well put. I mean, this is not a small manufacturer. If you consider that the Energica Ego, which is the fully faired version, basically makes around 140 horsepower, and that is a base for Moto E in MotoGP. So you can imagine that they know what they are doing. And this is the street naked version, not exactly a street naked version of that, substantially less powerful, but the torque, the power, how they come, have been well spoken about in electric vehicles, both in cars and motorcycles. I mean, that is the nature of electric vehicles, right? And this manages to put that power very effectively. Now have a look at this acceleration. And thanks to the geometry and the components like Pirelli Diablo Rosso 3 and Öhlins suspensions in this one. This one also has a lot of carbon fiber going on, and basically I think the draw, the sound, you know, it sounds magnificent. It sounds unlike anything else on the road. It actually sounds more like a Batman tumbler, you know. That is primarily because of it's like a chain final drive, and because of the motor, the permanent magnet motor, and the whole system is such that it produces a decent amount of sound, and it's by no means quiet. And that is something which you would either love or hate. For now, I love it because it does scream to people literally that, okay, look at me, like I'm different, and they realize that it's not an internal combustion engine. And look at these guys, even they are in awe of this. Yes, everyone is in awe of electric motorcycles, aren't you? I think you really need to have an inclination towards electric motorcycles to buy something like this because of the cost, you know. And I think in lesser amount of cost you can actually buy a ZH2 and or maybe even Street Fighter V4 if I'm not wrong. So it is that costly, and I think this is the case with almost all new technologies. I mean, the battery operated vehicles here, like completely electric vehicles, they still have a long way to go, but Energica, I think, has come a very long way in a very short period of time. They have really put out something which is very nice and which works, which is reliable, which is absolute high quality. I mean, there's nothing cheap about it. Like with any other electric bike, this is also more like a gadget which carries you around. And talking about gadgets, I have to talk about Acer, which has been my partner since long, and they have this philosophy called empowering people, and they have empowered me on this power tour. And power, as you know, is no longer just brake horsepower. In motorcycles like this, power takes on a whole new different meaning. It's basically a lot of power stored inside batteries, which also run the gadgets, the phones, the notebooks, the laptops, and everything. That's about it, guys. There's a lot of other information on the internet about this if you want, but personally, this is one of the highlights of the power tour that I'm on right now, and I would love to ride the Ego next time, because I've been trying that since a very long time, and that is, of course, in MotoGP. So that is going to be something. So for now, let's go to the next machine.